so no one in the room knew Amy's true talent. When Angelina Jolie challenged him to a chess match, an unpredictable and surprising result would emerge. Does this girl really know chess? Angelina Jolie's question was heard in the elegant lounge of the Grand Ballroom Hotel. Curious glances and whispers from the guests around her filled the room. 15-year-old Amy Williams sat quietly at the chess table in the corner, as if deaf to the outside world. She was watching the world-famous actress with quick glances. On the chessboard in front of her was a mate problem prepared by the organizers for the participants to solve at their leisure. Amy Williams was only 15 years old, but the determination in her eyes made it clear that she had maturity beyond her years. In their modest home in Detroit, her father Boris told her, "Daughter, this game will teach you patience and strategy. Always keep improving and striving for more." 8 years had passed since that day. 8 years without a break. She devoted at least 3 hours every day to this game. She had set the milestones of the future one by one. The Chess for Change charity event was a private event organized by Angelina Jolie. The most elite people in her inner circle also participated. The aim was to support the mental development of economically disadvantaged children by teaching them chess. Amy had qualified for this event by winning a regional competition. She came first out of 150 youngsters, and she had received the first fruits of her years of hard work. For this reason, she was very confident in this event. The Crystal Hall of the Grand Ballroom Hotel was like something out of a fairy tale palace. 20 chess tables were set up under crystal chandeliers, with young participants sitting at each one. The room was crowded, and a sweet excitement covered everyone. But the biggest test of the night had not yet begun. Before we continue with our story and its surprising ending, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let us know in the comments what city you're watching from. Your valuable support is important to us. Bloom Harrison, the event organizer, held the microphone tightly in his hand as he stepped onto the stage. Dear guests, today is a very special day. Under the patronage of Angelina Jolie, we are supporting young chess talent. After finishing his speech, he invited Angelina to the stage. Now the stage was Angelina Jolie's. When she took the stage, everyone in the hall applauded with their hands bursting. She attracted everyone's attention with her elegant black dress and smiling face. I am so happy to be here today. Chess is not just a game. It's an art that teaches life strategy. Everyone who recognized her characteristic Hollywood voice was mesmerized. Amy listened in silence. Her heart was beating fast. She had only seen Angelina Jolie on television, but seeing her so close excited her. Would she talk to her too? "Now I would like to meet you," said Angelina Jolie, starting to walk around the hall. She visited each table one by one with graceful steps and chatted with the young people with her smiling face. Amy's heart beat faster. Her turn was coming, and now it was her turn. When she reached Amy's table, Angelina looked at the mate problem in front of her. "This looks quite complicated. Can you solve it?" "Yes," Amy said calmly. Then she quickly showed the solution. Queen to f7, king to g8, then queen to g7 mate. Angelina Jolie was surprised. She hadn't expected her to solve it so quickly. "Fantastic. What's your name, honey?" "Amy Williams, Mrs. Jolie." "Amy, how long have you been playing chess?" 8 years. My father taught me on my 7th birthday. 8 years. Angelina was impressed. "Then you must be a very good player." "Chess is my passion. I practice every day." Angelina wondered, "What level are you at?" "At a level where I can beat anybody in Detroit." This answer piqued Angelina's curiosity even more. This little girl was so sure of herself. "Really? That's a very confident thing to say." "It's not confidence, it's true," Amy said, with that determined look she had gotten from her father. At that moment, the media coordinator, Dinah Peterson, approached Angelina Jolie. "Ms. Jolie, are you ready for the interview?" "Just a minute, Dina." Angelina Jolie turned to Amy. She didn't care about the interview right now. She had a different idea in her mind. "Amy, how about playing a game with me?" Amy's eyes widened. The world-famous actress was offering her a chess match. It was as if she had butterflies in her stomach, but she made a concentrated effort to appear calm. "Really? With you?" "Yes. I'm very curious. I want to see what's behind this confidence." Amy had won the regional competition and had played and won many matches before coming here. But this match was very different, because she was about to play the match of her life against a world-famous actress. The hall suddenly became silent. It was as if everyone was holding their breath. Nearby guests had heard this unexpected challenge. The cameras focused on Amy's desk. Whispers rose. Edna Foster, the wealthy sponsor, laughed sarcastically. "This is going to be so much fun. Angelina Jolie will win, of course." Gloria Anderson joined in. "Poor little girl. How naive." Event coordinator Cedric Chen worried. "Mrs. Jolie, if the girl loses, she could be very upset." Angelina Jolie, full of confidence. "Don't worry, I will be gentle." Amy could hear these conversations. Everyone was sure that Angelina Jolie would win. No one even thought she could win. But that motivated her even more. Her father's words echoed in her mind. "Daughter, chess is not just about moving the pieces. It's about moving your mind." Now she was going to show them who Amy Williams was. This was a historic opportunity for her. "Are you ready, Amy?" asked Angelina, sitting across from her. Amy took a deep breath. 8 years of work and all the effort she had put into this game had flashed before her eyes like a movie. And then she said decisively, "I'm ready, Mrs. Jolie." Angelina Jolie chose the white pieces and said with a confident smile, "I'll start then." She made her first move, E4. Amy answered without hesitation, E5. The room was completely silent. All eyes were fixed on the chessboard. Angelina Jolie was thinking about her second move when she noticed Amy's calm demeanor. This girl didn't seem nervous at all. Angelina played NF3. Amy again quickly, NC6. She didn't even hesitate. "You play very fast," Angelina said, slightly surprised. "I know this opening very well, the Italian opening." This answer surprised Angelina even more. At her age, she knew the opening theories. She had more than I thought. Third move, BC4. Amy, BC5. Angelina Jolie started to think more seriously. This girl looked really skillful. She was also in player mode. Angelina was shocked by Amy's move on the fifth move. She hadn't expected that move. It was a very creative and deeply calculated move. Now every move she made put her in a little more of a corner. The hall was beginning to take notice. Bloom Harrison whispered, "This girl's really good." Edna Foster's sarcastic smile was slowly fading, but much bigger surprises awaited them. Amy hadn't even played her last card. On the eighth move, Angelina Jolie was deep in thought. Amy's position was too complicated. She had to plan. Amy waited calmly. She could see that Angelina was struggling, but she wasn't being arrogant. She just focused on her game. She was calculating the moves in response to the moves from the other side. "It's a very interesting position," Angelina said with slight nervousness. "Thank you," Amy answered humbly. At the 12th move, beads of sweat began to appear on Angelina's forehead. This was a more difficult match than she had ever expected. Amy, on the contrary, was becoming calmer. This was her world and her kingdom. She made the rules and she broke them. On the 15th move, Amy played a sacrifice. She gave up her queen for Angelina Jolie's knight. The room was stunned. Edna Foster. Has she gone mad? But Amy's plan was much deeper. Soon Angelina's king would be in grave danger. Angelina Jolie realized at that moment. This 15-year-old girl's strategies were much more powerful than hers. and the people in the hall were beginning to understand. Now the real fight began. On the 17th move, Angelina Jolie's hand began to tremble. This was something she hadn't expected. She was stunned by Amy's last move. The young girl had sacrificed her queen, and in return had put Angelina Jolie's king in danger of checkmate. Amy was playing with Angelina like a cat with a mouse. How is this possible? Thought Angelina. When she had asked Amy to play, she had never expected her to be able to make such moves. Amy remembered her father's words. You deserve this. Her eyes on the chessboard, her face calm. Her plan was working. 8 years of work were paying off. The hall was completely silent. The guests watched in amazement at this unexpected development. Edna Foster's meaningless smile had long since disappeared. Gloria Anderson looked worriedly at Angelina. Miss Jolie seems to be struggling, whispered Bloom Harrison. Cedric Chen nodded. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. Amy heard these whispers, and her confidence was renewed. 10 minutes had passed since Angelina Jolie's last move. The hall was watching this struggle with bated breath. Angelina, normally a quick decision-maker, was now calculating each move very carefully. She had to be careful not to fall into Amy's trap. She felt like she would be defeated no matter which move she made. Angelina Jolie said, Can you give me some time to think? Of course, Amy said politely. Angelina Jolie stood up and took a few steps. She was trying to calm her mind, but Amy's position was very, very strong. The whispering among the guests started again. I think Mrs. Jolie is going to lose. Who is this little girl? Amy could hear these conversations, but she did not lose focus. She remained calm, as her father had taught her. Daughter, chess is a game of patience. The one who rushes loses, he always said. Her father was her greatest mentor. Angelina Jolie returned to the table. She had made her move, but Amy had made her counter-move quite quickly. Without hesitation, she made another move, and Angelina's king was now in grave danger. The circle had narrowed. Risk checkmate, Angelina muttered to herself. Amy waited in silence, wondering what Angelina was going to do. The mate plan was almost complete. On the 21st move, Angelina Jolie had to make a forced move. She tried to save her king, but Amy's trap was too good. The net was so tight that there was no escape. Amy checked one last time with her hand on the piece. Everything was perfect. She took a deep breath and slid her rook across the board to make her finishing move. Mate, she said. Angelina Jolie looked and looked at the board and realized that there could be no other outcome but defeat. Her king had no escape route. Edna Foster, sitting in the first row, was stunned. Bloom Harrison dropped his pencils, and then silence. It was as if time stood still. Unbelievable, said Angelina. That was a perfect match. Amy stood up and bowed respectfully. Thank you, Mrs. Jolie. Angelina also stood up and applauded. No, Amy, you have an incredible talent. She had shown great sportsmanship. Then there was a round of applause. Everybody was standing up and applauding Amy. The cameras were focused on her. Flashes were exploding everywhere. Edna Foster was in awe. How did she do that? Gloria Anderson. This girl is a real chess master. Amy's eyes filled with tears. It was the biggest and proudest moment of her life. She had beaten the world-famous Angelina Jolie, and she did it in front of everyone. But most importantly, she did it with respect. Angelina Jolie came up to Amy. Amy, you are extraordinary. I was so moved by this match. Really? Of course. You didn't play a game. You showed art. Every move was thought out. Every plan was perfect. I worked hard for it. And it paid off. What are your plans for the future? I want to be a chess master and world champion. Amy had her sights set on the top. She had a very bold dream. Her real journey began today. Angelina Jolie's eyes lit up. Amy, would you like to meet with the advisors of my chess foundation? Let's talk about how we can support a talent like yours. Amy couldn't believe what she was hearing. Really? You will do this for me? Of course. You have a very special talent. This talent and dream should not be left alone. The hall burst into applause again. Everyone had heard this generous offer. Dinah Peterson approached Amy with the microphone. Amy, how are you feeling right now? I feel like I'm dreaming. I played with Angelina Jolie and I won. It's unbelievable. But this was not a dream. This was real life. So what's your secret? How did you reach this level at such a young age? Hard work, improving a little more every day, and never giving up. She listed it like a formula for success in life. Angelina Jolie interjected, Amy is not only talented but also very disciplined. This combination sets her apart. Event organizer Bloom Harrison took the stage. Dear guests, today we have witnessed a historic moment. Amy was brought on stage. Hundreds of people applauded her. Thank you, everyone. This is the happiest day of my life. I am grateful to Angelina Jolie for the opportunity she gave me. Then Angelina also came on stage. Amy, you have taught me so much. Talent is not measured by age. We will work with our foundation to fulfill Amy's potential, Angelina said. Amy could not hold back her tears. She could hardly believe what had happened in the luxury lounge today. Once again, she expressed her gratitude to Angelina. You have taken your rightful place, Angelina said. That evening, Amy told her family at home what had happened. Her mother Adele and father Boris couldn't believe it. She beat Angelina Jolie, Adele said proudly. I am so proud of you, Boris added. I told you, my daughter. I told you that one day you would be rewarded for your hard work. The next morning when Amy woke up, her phone was full of messages. Chess clubs around the world wanted to contact her. Angelina Jolie's foundation called. She felt like she was in a different world. Angelina Jolie kept her promise. She sent Amy to a prestigious chess academy. The little girl's big dream started to come true. It was like waking up to a different day every morning. Nothing would ever be the same again. The more she looked back on that famous night, the more she realized the true genius and talent of the young girl. For Angelina, Amy was now more than just a talent to support. Her defeat that night had shown her her own limitations. The experience had made her an even more understanding person. Watching Amy succeed was a learning process for her too. The last 3 months had radically changed Amy's life. Angelina Jolie's foundation had found her experienced coaches from the chess world. One of them was a former student of the world champion and taught Amy Kasparov's style of play. She practiced every day. She spent most of her day at her desk, with the chessboard in front of her. Standing still was her worst enemy. For her, one should always improve oneself, no matter what one was engaged in. I spoke to our foundation advisors, Angelina said. They want to send you to the Botvinnik chess school in Russia. Amy's eyes lit up. Botvinnik? The world-famous school. Yes, but you will have to leave your family for a while. Can you make that sacrifice? This thought worried Amy. Her heart began to beat rapidly. How long? 2 years. But you'll be back in the summer, Amy thought. She had never spent a single day away from her family. But here was the biggest opportunity of her life. After some thought, I accept, she said. At that moment, Boris phoned. His voice was excited. Amy's story was so inspiring that chess clubs in the city came together. Even the mayor wanted to be a supporter of the project, and they decided to open a small chess center in her name. A month later, Amy returned to Detroit. She even had a small welcome ceremony at the airport. The opening of the Amy Williams Chess Center was modest but meaningful. The center had initially opened with only 20 children. Thank you, everyone, Amy said into the microphone. This center is not just my success, it's all of our success. Angelina Jolie also spoke. Amy's story teaches us something important. Every child has a hidden talent. The important thing is to bring it out. A little girl approached Amy. Are you Amy? Amy kneels down. Yes, I am. Do you want to learn chess too? Work hard and never give up, Amy said. Anything is possible. She could hear her father's voice as she said these words. She was giving others the advice her father had given her. The last night before she left for Russia, Amy was sitting at home with her family. The smell of her favorite dishes prepared by her mother wafted through the house. I think I'm going to miss this food for a long time, she thought. Her mother Adele was worried. Daughter, it's too far. You will be alone. I will miss you, but I'm so close to my dreams. I can't miss this opportunity. Her father Boris. Amy, win or lose, you are already world champion for us. Our heart is always with you, my daughter. Amy with tears in her eyes. I know, Dad. The next morning, Amy flew to Russia, with a small suitcase and big dreams in her heart. Angelina Jolie saw her off. I will see you in 2 years. You will come back having achieved great things. I believe in you. The first 6 months in Russia were quite challenging for Amy. A different country, climate, language barrier, new training system, separation from her family. The loneliness and cold winds of Moscow seemed to freeze her heart. Amy cried in her bed at night. Maybe I wasn't ready, she thought. Loneliness and doubt began to creep in, but her coach Ivan wouldn't allow it, telling her, "The greatest masters are born from their first failures." In the fall came her first major success, 3rd place at the Moscow Open. This victory restored her faith. It was the first step towards acceptance in Russia. Amy had found her confidence again, and she set her sights once again on her dream of becoming world champion. A year later, Amy returned to Detroit with the Russian Junior Championship trophy. This time, a bigger crowd was waiting for her at the airport. She was now officially recognized as an international master. She returned with the crown of victory. Angelina Jolie came to congratulate her. Amy, you are amazing. This is just the beginning, Amy said. The real goal is the world championship. She didn't even hesitate when she said this. Her belief in herself was rock solid. She didn't even doubt it. As Amy's successes increased, so did the number of applications to the center in Detroit. Television stations were constantly visiting the center and filming documentaries. Now it served 200 children with 6 coaches and volunteers. 10 children inspired by Amy placed at national competitions. 6 months later came the World Junior Championships. It was the biggest test for Amy. The eyes of the world media were on her. Her whole life was now focused on this. The final match lasted 3 hours. Amy fought hard against her last opponent, Viktor Petrov, Russia's youngest genius. The spectators held their breath, watching in silence. The position was very complicated. Amy remembered the patience her father taught her. At the end of the 5th hour, Amy made her last move. Victor looked at the board with surprise in his eyes and realized he had no choice but to surrender. Thousands of people shouted in unison, "World champion!" Amy stood up with tears in her eyes. Her dream had come true. The dream of that little girl in Detroit had come true. Angelina Jolie congratulated her. Amy, I told you that you would achieve great things. You are an inspiration. This is not just my success, Amy said. It's everyone who believes in me, especially you. A year later, Amy returned to Detroit for good. She was now a household name around the world. Master chess player. But what she was most proud of was her center. Thanks to Amy's achievements, the city had increased its support, and the center had grown. Look, Amy, Angelina said as she visited the center. You didn't just play chess. You started a movement. Amy smiled. When I played with you that night, I wasn't just playing chess. I was fighting for the future. In a television interview, Amy said, My best memory is that first night, because I learned that nothing is impossible if you have the courage. Amy Williams's story is being told by everyone. Hundreds of children followed her path. She even published a book about her life story, and that book topped the children's literature bestseller list. But the most important achievement for Amy was the light in her little sister's eyes. Can you be as brave as Amy to discover your own talents? Don't forget, every expert was once a beginner. The important thing is to never give up.